Yo, what's going on, ladies and gents? My name is Arbuckle. Welcome back to another video. Today we're back on Fortnite Battle Royale, and I wanted to share with you guys 5 tips to becoming a Fortnite god in August 2018. That is right, you are going to become a Fortnite king by the end of this video, hopefully. But yeah, I wanted to share with you guys 5 tips and tricks to hopefully improve your game when it comes to Fortnite. As someone that's been playing the game since back in October when the game first became a thing, it's crazy to see how much this game has changed over even just the last couple of weeks. I feel like a video that I may have made 2 months ago at this point could be completely null and void, right? The advice in that video could be awful because of how much the game has changed, and it's one of those games where the gameplay is affected, right? Like you play a game like Call of Duty or Battlefield, and throughout the entire year the game is pretty much the exact same, but with Fortnite, you know, so much has changed. It's a completely different game, and it's crazy to see how big that it's gotten and how wild that this ride that it's been on. But yeah, so today I wanted to share with you guys 5 tips that I think will really help to improve some of your games. And yeah, hopefully I can help some of you guys out. Before I even get into the tips, if you guys have any questions or any extra tips to add, I highly encourage you to leave them down in the comment section below. But yeah, okay, so let's jump into some of these. So the first one is something that I've truly believed is probably one of the most important tips, and has been since the game first came out, and that's to enter the circle from the smallest end. You don't want to make it easy for enemies to come up behind you. So one of the biggest problems that I run into, and this is something that I feel like a lot of people tend to take advantage of in life, and that's taking the shortcut the easiest way. And in Fortnite, doing that, right, taking the quickest route to the circle can actually screw you, and in a lot of situations get you pinched. And if you don't know what pinched means, I guarantee you've been through it when 2 teams converge on you from 2 different directions at the same time, and that is the most annoying thing in the game. So one way that you can prevent that from happening and give yourself a better chance of making it further into the game and hopefully getting more wins is to always enter the circle from the smallest end. When you do that, what you're doing, the less space that's between the storm and the new circle, you have a much better chance of not having someone come up behind you, right? Like, obviously you don't want to run down right down the middle to the next circle and have this entire open map with players everywhere able to see you running right down the middle. So even though it may take you a little bit longer, even though it might be out of the way, I highly recommend, whether you're playing solos, whether you're playing duos or squads, trying to take the longest route and enter the circle from the smallest end, so you don't have to worry about some team that's hiding in a bush or hiding in a building end up flanking you and putting you in a really crappy situation. So always enter the circle from the smallest end. You'll notice a huge difference once you start doing this, and you'll get pinched a lot less. I feel like I wanted to share with you guys that tip because of how much I've been getting pinched lately, because of how lazy I've been and kind of just running down the middle or whatever, and it's so aggravating. So if you're one of those players that doesn't get pinched, I wish I was you. The second tip that I have for you guys is to place traps in and around your base, or your house, whatever the location that you're in, before and during gunfights. One thing that I notice with Fortnite, and this is a lot of my friends, to be honest, they tend to waste traps. And I used to do this all the time until I started trying to take advantage of this. A lot of times when people get traps at the beginning of the game, yeah, they'll put them on the ceiling, they'll put them on the wall, whatever. But later on in the game, when you start killing other players and collecting their stuff, a lot of times you'll collect like 10 traps. And by the end of the game, whether you win, whether you die, whatever, at that point in time, you probably have a lot of traps. If you're playing a game right now and you just look, I guarantee you have at least 6 traps. They're everywhere. You're always picking them up. But something that you can do that can actually save your ass a lot is to just spam these traps down around a base or a build battle or a location where you're converging on an enemy team. Let's say, for example, you build up a base, just a standard little base, and you go to the top and you put down traps at the top. If someone builds up to you, the most common way to use these traps now, if someone builds up to your base and jumps in trying to kill you or whatever, those traps can save your ass and even put that guy down depending on how many you have up there and how much health he has. But one thing that I highly recommend doing with these things are using them during build battles, right? So like, I know a lot of you guys are extremely good and you're always place 400 million feet off the ground and going insane. But if you're playing someone that you think is probably better than you, or even if they're not better than you, even if you just get in this crazy build battle and they start building the most random walls and whatever they're doing, who knows at this point? People are doing crazy stuff in Fortnite. But one thing that you can do is you can just start placing ceilings and walls and just throwing those traps down. And what's really nice about that is basically what you do is you're in this build battle with this guy. You guys are basically building the Taj Mahal, and you're putting traps all around it. So not only is that going to help you when it comes to trying to fight off that guy that you're in the build battle with, but at this point, there's probably other players in the game that are watching you guys fight, or that are going to end up running into that base or that Taj Mahal that you guys built. So having all those random traps around can actually save your ass and can actually get you more kills in the long run. So make sure you don't waste those traps. Take advantage of them and put them down everywhere, man. There's no reason to just keep them. The third tip that I have for you guys is something that I personally think that I came up with that I think works really, really well, and that is to fake snipe at the bottom of enemy bases to knock them down. And this is something I think I talked about in a video a really long time ago, but no one ever takes advantage of this. Keep in mind, I say fake snipe. I think this works the best with snipers. Let's say, for example, I'm in a base on a hill and I'm looking far away and I see another guy that's on a base on a hill, and he's like maybe 6 blocks off the ground, so that I know, maybe let's say for example he's like 8 blocks off the ground. He built up way too high, and I know that if I shoot out the bottom of his base, he's gonna fall to his death. If I start shooting with an assault rifle far away, it's going to be loud, it's going to be obvious, right? And if he's at the top of his base and he hears all these gunshots coming at him and he realizes that none of them are coming at him, he knows that I'm shooting out the bottom of his base. He's going to start building down. He's going to get safe, and I'm just going to have a bunch of wasted ammo. So one thing that you can do if you have a sniper is you can fake snipe at him, but really be shooting the bottom of his base, and this works so well because anytime a player hears a sniper shot, they instantly duck. Like, that's just instant reaction. It's like, oh god, okay, that's coming for me. And if they hear it hit near their base, they're going to assume that you're sniping at them. No one ever assumes that you're sniping at the wall. Like, who does that? No one does that. But one thing that you can do if it's wood, it only takes a few sniper shots to knock out. So a few extra seconds, you can actually knock that guy down and kill him. And it sounds kind of dumb, and it sounds like it may take a while, but this is something that I've done a lot and have found a lot of success with. And I wouldn't tell you guys some stupid tip that's not going to work. So trust me on this one. Try it out. It's really funny too because people have no idea what's going on. They just constant sniper shots. But again, try not to use an assault rifle to do this. If you're in a situation where someone else is in a build battle and they're not going to pay attention to you, then yeah, go for it. Use your assault rifle, use your P90, whatever gun you're using, use it. But if that guy is also sniping at you or he sees you and you don't want to run the risk of wasting your ammo and him just jumping out and not getting hurt at all, use your sniper to shoot out the bottom of his base. I promise you, he's going to have no idea what's going on. The fourth tip that I have for you guys is to use your reticle to spot bush campers. I wanted to bring this one up because I noticed a lot of my friends weren't doing this and were ending up like putting us in pretty crappy situations. For those of you that don't know, I still don't understand how people don't get this, but if you aim down sight on a bush and a player is in it, if you scroll over with your gun is going to stop. It's basically auto aim. So one thing I've always done, and I've done this since the game came out, like since I started playing it back in October, is I'll aim at the bushes and move my gun over. And this works from like hella distance too, guys. Like, you can be so far away, and if someone's hiding in a bush and you aim at it and slowly move your gun's going to stop. And that's the best way to determine if someone's hiding in the bush. If you just start shooting at bushes, first of all, you're making a lot of noise, so people are already going to hear you. So you might be shooting at bushes that no one's even in or around, and then you're just giving up your position. Or you just start spraying and the guy ends up building or whatever. If you aim down sight at a bush that's far away and you move over and you see it stop, like this, I do this all the time. If I see my gun stop up, I point him out before I even start shooting. I'm like, hey, there's a guy in that bush over there. He doesn't know that I know that he's there. Like, let's take him out. Don't even give him a chance. So it's something that can really help you out, and I highly recommend getting in the habit of doing it. Because, you know, a lot of times, especially nowadays, people are always hiding in bushes. So it's smart to get in the habit of constantly checking those bushes by just looking over. And a lot of people like to just run and jump into them and see if they run into somebody. But by the time you do that, they're going to end up shooting you in the face. So I don't understand why people do that either. But trust me on this one, guys. Use your reticle to spot bush campers. It's going to help you out a lot. The fifth and final tip that I have for you guys for this video is, I think, pretty obvious too, but fly in over Loot Lake or the ocean. I think one of the most important ways to survive at the beginning of a match is to land first. I think that is so crucial, and I know people that are good can kind of take advantage of not having to do that, knowing exactly where they're going to land and what's going to be where. But I think it's so important to try to land first. Even if you're just, a casual player, landing first you can win so many more gunfights against players that are 5 times better than you if you just land first. So I think it's important to try to do your best to get there and not kind of get lackadaisical at the beginning of the match. So flying over Loot Lake or the ocean, those are the 2 smallest points on the map. The ocean obviously is the easiest because it's much lower than the map. So if you fly in over the ocean, if you're trying to go somewhere like Greasy Grove that's on the edge of the map, it's much easier to jump out over the ocean, dive straight down, get as low as you can, line up your flight path, and then pull your chute. You'll get down to the ground almost instantly. But obviously, a lot of times the bus doesn't fly directly over the ocean. So you don't always have that luxury of doing that. But that's why Loot Lake is there. And I think Loot Lake is very clutch for a lot of locations, especially Tilted Towers, Pleasant Park, pretty much anywhere near the middle of the map. Loot Lake is clutch because you can dive in directly over the lake and then pull your chute and kind of line up your flight path in any direction that you want to go in. So use Loot Lake, use the ocean to fly in, and you'll get to the ground much quicker. And I'm telling you, you're going to win more gunfights. It's always important to try to land quicker. But anyway, guys, that's it for the video. I hope you guys did enjoy some of these tips. Like I said back at the beginning, if you guys have anything else to add, any questions, any random thoughts, make sure to leave them down in the comments below. If you guys have any questions, just want to chat, hit me up on Twitter or Instagram at Dylan Furl. I'll leave links to all my social media down below. I hope you guys did enjoy it. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next video. Can we be friends?